Amy and Shane asking me to talk tonight. I think it's, I've obviously seen a long trail of Arbonne happen from the beginning, and my views have changed. So a little bit about me. My family owned a heavy equipment dealership in New Hampshire, Maine, and Vermont. So since the time I was this big, I want to be a salesman, I want to be around equipment, I want to sell. So that's always what I've wanted to do. I never really saw that in Amy. It never came out. She was a teacher, she wanted to be around the kids, she wanted to help, which works very well with Arbonne. So 3.5 years ago, we were in a situation. I was selling equipment in Maine, I was traveling up there every day, she was teaching. The economy wasn't that great, so there wasn't a ton of business happening. So, I mean, we were doing fine, but we weren't doing great things, but we were still young, so we weren't worried about it. We were just going with the flow. Budget things happened in the town. Amy was going to lose her job. We were getting ready to have a kid, so we're kind of nervous as young parents trying to figure out where are we going, what are we going to do, how are we going to provide for the family. And Amy came to me and said, hey, this lady, Shane, and she explained how she knew her and everything, told me about Arbonne, and I listened, and I didn't think much of what that could be, obviously not to where we are today. I just listened and tried to be supportive if that's something you want to do. She talked about that she wants me to have a party, can we have some people over? She's going to explain to us what it is. Okay, sure, So Shane pulls up, and she unloads, and I help her. We carry all this stuff into the house, and I'm just like, okay. And there was a nice big thing of sangria she'd made. I'm like, this sounds like my kind of party. We'll have a few drinks. I think I drank the whole thing of sangria while this was going on. And so I listened to the thing, and there was all the products, and it all seemed very good. And after Shane talked to us about what the business was, and how it worked, like with her family, and what it could potentially mean for ours. Someone talking on that?
Someone was shushing their child.
Oh, okay. So after I heard it all, and Amy and I talked about it, she was interested in doing it. And I was skeptical, honestly, of what it could be, as I'm sure many of you have been at some point, spouses have been at some point. Anything you hear like this is great to hear. And a lot of people, I can tell, because I had the same thing, may have a hard time grasping the concept that you can actually be where some of these women are today, and actually making it a full-time job, working half the time. It's hard to fathom the idea that can happen, that you can drive the white Mercedes. I can tell you, having watched it, it is possible. So Amy starts on this path with Shane, and she buys some she has the parties, she does the launch parties, and she gets some free products. She starts going out on her own. So we start traveling, and I went with her because Amy will laugh, I just like to be with her. So I would go with the kids and go to a party, and we'd go off and do some stuff, and I'd help her unpack, and we'd do everything. She would come back and, I only sold a couple things. So those struggles would happen, which how many of you have had that? You leave a party and you walk away and you say, you're deflated. You don't really know what you're going to do. How am I going to do this business? I'm going to let somebody down. I'm not going to make it. So she continued on that path for the better part of 2 years. She was in and out of it. She would do it. She would feel good about it, and she would back up. It was almost like she was afraid to just go the whole way with it, and she would fall back. And right before everything happened, she decided, okay, I'm either going to try to really do this business like Shane's told me and follow the process, or I'm going to be done. She says, I'm not going to continue to go to the parties and not feel like I'm going to make it. So she went and did it, and she went on a leap, and she went to Albany, I think it was, for a regional training. And she came back completely motivated, dedicated. I think Becca went with her, if I remember. They went to the training. She came back, and from there, it took off. And Arbonne really has changed our life. We went on the trip in October with Shane and her family and 792 other Arbonne families. And I can tell you that of all the Arbonne people I met, there wasn't one person that I couldn't see myself spending time with. They're all fabulous people. And I look around, and the last meeting I was at in here, I think there was a quarter of the people, and this room's almost full. It's amazing to see how many people have just continued to join the team. Thinking back to that community aspect that Arbonne has, the biggest turning point I had in Arbonne as a spouse, and I guess someone on the side, we went to Danielle Pearson's National Vice President presentation in Nashua, and her husband spoke a lot better than I probably am right now. But he spoke about his path, and he just opened my eyes to what Arbonne did for his family. You know, the second income, the replacing his income, and I believe he still works, but basically her team is completely growing, and she's just on a path to greatness in Arbonne. And he shared just the same struggles that I was seeing that she went through with the discouraging times that you have, and it related to exactly where we were at the time with Arbonne. So I would say all of you are probably or have felt that. Don't be discouraged by it. Don't let other people's judgment of Arbonne, because that's another thing. I know Amy went through it with her family, me at times. The judgment that you feel people are giving you about what you're trying to do is not fair. They haven't heard what you've heard. They haven't seen what you've done. It's not fair to make that judgment, so ignore it. Amy's father, I think, still calls it airborne. She's still earning his respect, I guess, that what she's doing is valid, even though she drives the Mercedes and she goes on the trips and all these things happen. He does respect it, but he still has to crack jokes with his daughter. But don't let the noise of other people around you deflate you into not wanting to pursue this, because honestly, when you get to the other side of that and you show them what you can do with it, they will thank you and they will congratulate you. I can't thank Amy enough for everything she's done, Shane enough for bringing it to us. The people we've met, the things we've done, you can't change it. You really can't. So thank you both for that. And I guess in closing, seeing what Arbonne's like and the choices that you have to make in order to get to where they are, you've made the hardest one. You're here. You're doing it. Don't quit. Keep going. Just keep talking to people about it. Trust the system. Don't be afraid to talk about Arbonne. Don't be afraid people are going to judge what it is, because this business network marketing is changing everything. The way we communicate today with social media, this is how products are getting to market. You guys are way ahead of everyone around you. Just do it. Just trust it, do it, follow the system, listen to what they say, come to the meetings, and you will be successful. Thank you.